Yes, people. Schlotterbeck has been linked with a move to Liverpool, but will it be a January signing or a summer signing? 15 years of FSG. We look back on the Liverpool owners' tenure and Man United on the horizon. It's a brand new show, guys. Liverpool in focus with Enz, Jamie, and Monts will be appearing soon as well. Sit back, relax. Let's get into this.
Hi, this is Jordan Henderson, and you're watching Team Kop-Ish.
Being free back again, ripping LFC till the end, so go on tell a friend. If they rockin' red, they're a 10 champions, be the best we come again. Kop-Ish clean up in every region, elevation in every season. Catch up in all the fast match up in real rap, and drifty go on tell them this is that, this is that. This is Kop-Ish, this is Kop-Ish. Reppin' Liverpool till the end, champions, be the best, come again. This is that. This is Kop-Ish. This is Kop-Ish. The main free back up in your screen, real ones know this the place to be. This is Kop-Ish.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well. Please do smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. But more importantly, guys, the links to Enz, Jamie's, and Monts' channels are in the title. So make sure you go over and subscribe to these guys as well. Boys, how you doing this morning?
Feeling good. Good. Listening to you guys' stories this morning is a joke still.
You better not tell Tom you played the new intro when he ain't on the show.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I only did that with you. Nothing like gaslighting.
No, good, man. And finally, the frog's doing good as well.
Yeah, mad ritual that you do before streams, Jamie. But I
know.
No, affairs. Everyone has their own little thing in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, we won't shed light on it, but
it's a shaky situation. I'm not gonna.
Oh dear.
Is that every stream before every stream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. I always stroke Barney. That don't sound right. No, before stream
That's how
starts.
you nicknamed it, bro. That's crazy.
Mad.
Insane.
Shut up, gonna be like, what the hell?
Yeah. Boys, everyone knows that we tried to sign Gahey in the summer. We were unsuccessful. Palace pulled out of the deal at the last minute, and then Leone unfortunately went down with an injury. Konate is a potential 50-50 for Man United game. Since Gahey didn't come in, the whole of the Liverpool community has pretty much been saying we need another centre-back. We want another centre-back. Schlotterbeck's just come back from injury, but he has played really well since he's been back in the Germany setup as well, if I'm not mistaken, and he's been linked with a move to Liverpool. Enz, I'll start with you. Is he the profile of centre-back that you think we should be going after, and what are your thoughts about the player?
Do you know what? I haven't watched him this season. I was a massive fan of him a few seasons before, just watching and seeing his development as a centre back. Looks like a centre back that has everything that you need. He's got a bit of speed to him, reads the game really well, strong in the tackle, and obviously we like a bit of balance in our team. And being left-footed massively helps as well. If we want to go to a back three, or you want to do the inverted thing that Arne Slot has been doing over the last season and a half, so. No, I think he'll be really, really good for us. As I said, I haven't watched him this season, so I don't know how he's come back from the ACL injury. So I don't know what the progression's been. Does he look slower? Does he look like his old self? I don't know. But because now it's kind of heating up in terms of it looks like this is a potential signing for Liverpool, and I'm going to go and take a look and make sure I'm watching the games just to see what he's going to come in and offer, because from the reports, and I'm sure you'll cover it, looks like he's interested as well. So let's see what happens, man. But top player, man. And it looks like that's the way we're going. We're just going out there and getting the top talents out there, and then we'll do what we need to do with it.
I hear it. Jay, shout out to Rams in the chat as well. The Ramstan, go subscribe to Ramstan's channel. He's quite perfectly put it. He covers centre back, DM, and left back. Now, we've sat here for years and said, what's the succession plan for Virgil van Dijk? And obviously, I don't necessarily know if there is a succession plan, because he's the best centre-back in the world. So you can't go and get the best centre-back in the world to replace the best centre-back in the world if you've already got the best centre-back in the world. However, you look at Schlotterbeck's profile and how he is he someone that is capable of making an immediate impact as well as future-proofing us, in your opinion?
Yeah. Schlotterbeck's a quality defender. Obviously, the injuries have gone against him a little bit for people to really see maybe what he is about if they've not seen him. But no, he's quality, man. Look, replacing Virgil is a difficult thing to do. You know, it's Virgil van Dijk. He's probably the best centre back I've ever seen. You know, at Liverpool in my lifetime, anyway. You know, Alan Hansen just retired by the time I started watching. So, yeah. Sometimes you got to look at it and go, right, you're not going to find a player. You're not going to find another defender straight away that's like Virgil van Dijk. So you got to look at what's the best available on the market. And as Zen says, I don't think we're going to be buying like players with potential anymore. We just want to buy the ready-made footballer now. That's where we're going now. You know, we've sold. If you look at all the players we're selling, a lot of players we've sold our potential players in the squad as well to free up spaces for ready-made players to bolster our squad. And Schlotterbeck is definitely that, man. He's definitely that. I think he's 25, I believe. I think he's 25. You know, and that's the perfect age. Absolutely perfect age. Come in. He's big, strong. He can play as well. He's not just a defender. He's a good footballer. He can play. Yeah. And now he can play fullback in that DM area as well. Yeah, he's a top draw footballer. And yeah, look, I don't think any of us want to see a day when Virgil's not playing for Liverpool. Yeah. But if Schlotterbeck's the one, I trust the club at this moment in time, to be fair. They seem to be getting a lot of recruitment right lately. So, you know, yeah, I trust them. If he's the one they want, go and get him.
I hear it. And I'm going to come back to you on this subject. Konate has been criticised a lot this season, whether fairly or unfairly, regarding his distribution of the ball and his playing out from the back, especially with the way Slot's trying to implement his new system and tactics and philosophy, etc. Schlotterbeck is someone who's one of the best progressive passers in Europe, whether that be passing it through the lines or hitting diagonals. However, he does play left centre back, and obviously we've got Virgil who plays there. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's a world where Virgil could start to move over to right centre back in some games, and him and Schlotterbeck could be the partnership?
Yeah, like why can't he? Virgil is a top talented centre back, world class. He can play on the right side. It just means it probably nullifies that certain pass he normally does to Mo. But we've seen him play that pass to Cody as well from time to time, and Mane when he was here. So he can play those type of passes just to the other side, and that could help us massively, because if Schlotterbeck can do it on the left hand side of this, centre back, and he can do it on the right hand side, that's extra weapons there. So when we are backs against the wall, we can then just go right outlet. Virgil can do that cross-field switch, or Schlotterbeck can do that outfield switch, depending if it's still Mo Salah here or whoever it might be, Elise at the time, by the time we have revisit this conversation, and those two at centre-back. But look, I know Konate has been getting a lot of grief, and I think it's fair in moments, and some unjust as well. I just think it's just the way he looks on the ball. And a lot of people don't really like the way he looks. He doesn't look settled, doesn't look composed when he goes to play those passes. So I think it's more that than the ability not to. But look, I'm all for Liverpool improving the team, and he will massively improve this team as well. And we need centre-backs at this moment in time as well, because we've got one we had Leone that came in and showed he could be about something, but we're going to not have him now for a year. Joe Gomez has been on the fritz for years now. You don't know what's going to happen with him. He wants to leave. Is he going to go AC now, or what's the plan with him? Konate's contract situation as well, and then it leaves Virgil. So at the moment in time, we only guaranteed one centre-back that's willing to stay here. Yeah. So we definitely need to get some reinforcements in as early as and as soon as possible. So yeah, man, it makes sense. It makes sense, Carl.
Jay, I want to come back to you now with regards to the tactical setup, etc. In fact, I've got my partner in crime for this one. Myself and Enns came up with a formation playing three at the back, and Jamie, you've put a hit out on me because of that since then. However, if we were to sign Schlotterbeck, I think it opens up a world where there's so much versatility. I think you could go back three. You could go Schlotterbeck as a left back and invert the system, and you can also have Schlotterbeck play instead of Virgil, which is something we haven't seen much over the last few years. Do you think there's an argument to say Schlotterbeck is maybe even more important than Gahey at this current moment?
I don't know. I like Mark Gahey, man. I really rate Mark Gahey. I think he's a tremendous centre-back. And because I've seen him more, You know, I've obviously watched Mark Gay play a lot more than I watched Schlotterbeck play. He'd be the one I'd pick, but I'd get both of them, man. I'd just get both of them. I said to you last night, Cal, I think if you get these kind of centre backs in the club without selling anyone, I think that means he wants to play free at the back, maybe. I think there's an opportunity for Liverpool to play free at the back if Gay came in this season. Gay is a centre back that does like to play free at the back. You got Leone there, you got Konate there, you got Virgil there. If you look at the fullbacks we've got very attack-minded fullbacks that can play in wing-back roles as well. Maybe that's what Slot might be thinking. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but get me both, man. I just want quality. I've always said this. If I've got 4 centre backs and my 4 centre backs are Leone, Gay, Schlotterbeck, and Virgil going forward, you know, I'm totally happy with it. Absolutely happy with it, man.
I'm with you there, Jay. I think getting both would make so much sense as well. One on a free. Or I would, and I know it probably sounds crazy, I would actually pay for him in January. I don't think Palace will let him leave in January, though, depending on what the situation is, depending on where they are in cup competitions, the league table and stuff like that. But I'd pay for him to secure it, because I don't want us to wait till the summer and then we're then fighting against other clubs trying to get his signature. Because I know we was close to signing him, and we probably still have his word in that instance, but there's going to be other clubs circulating and going, he's on a free. Why can't we go in for him? So I'll go back in January and pay a fee and loan him back to them, and then just get him in the summer. Then I would. I think you're going to save yourself a lot more money doing it that way, because if it comes down to like contract wise and then other clubs start circulating, then he's got the pick of the bunch. You're going to have to go out there and then go and get another centre back, which you're going to have to go out and spend more money than what you would have if you just got him in January. So I think it makes sense to do that, in my opinion.
That's a really good shot. I don't think I've heard anyone else come up with that suggestion about buying him in January and loaning him back, because I'm with you. I don't see Crystal Palace selling him. However, is there not an argument to say that Gahey would probably reject a move in January, knowing that he could get such a big sign-on fee and all these things as well?
It depends on what the original deal was, wasn't it? So it depends if Liverpool give him the original fee and maybe something, whatever we was going to do, because we were going to pay for him anyway, and we was going to give him a good wage, I would assume, in the summer. So as long as Liverpool honor that and maybe sweeten it a little bit more, if that's what we want to do, because I think doing that will save us a hell of a lot more money than not getting him and then have to then go and get another centre back on top of a Schlotterbeck.
Yeah, that's true, because a free transfer is not really a free transfer, is it? Because you actually pay more money in him. Like I think we'd pay more money for Gay overall as a player than in summer as a free than if we do it in January. Because in the summer you have to pay a big sign-on fee, and in the wages where, the transfer fee alone would be pretty cheap, you would have thought, and the wages might not be so high if it was a free transfer, including the sign-on bonus. So, yeah, I like Mark Gay, man. I was gutted when we didn't buy him in the summer. I think he's perfect for what we want to do. It's very obvious that Arne Slot wants a ball-playing centre-back in that back line. And, I'll go and get him, man. I don't care. Get me quality, man. I've always said this. Quality over quantity. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm about, man. Quality over quantity. Give me all the quality. So
just one word answer before we move topic. Ends. Do we sign Schlotterbeck in January, yes or no?
Yes.
Jay?
Yeah. What I'm reading just now, by look at it.
My owners.
Christian Falk. So Christian Falk has said that Schlotterbeck is now interested in a potential offer coming from Liverpool.
How wouldn't you be?
I think we get him ahead of Bayern Munich. I don't think Bayern Munich can offer him what we can at the moment.
There's a hierarchy. We've seen that in the summer. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, Bayern's not having it with us now, bro. They're like, wait.
It is what it is. Shout out to Honesty in the chat, says smash the like, subscribe to the man, and bless up. Big up yourself, Honesty, and Aquia as well. Says big up people, much love, you'll never walk alone. Big up yourself, Aquia, as well. Right, boys, before we move on topic, we've got to bring in our other guest. Big up Mont from Big Six Bants. How you doing, bro?
Big up everyone. You know what I'm saying? Just man. Just listening backstage, you know what I'm saying? And I agree. But yeah, big up Jamie, big up Ends, big up Cal.
Big
You
up.
don't like it, subscribe, man.
I feel like you got something on your mind. with the whole thing.
That was the most I agree I've ever heard in my life.
Go on, no, say what's on your chest. Now, go on, man. You're here
Nah,
now.
he did. I think he did. I just think there's no trigger words hit him yet. So
Yeah.
I think we're all right. We're good.
The trigger word ain't been said yet.
Yeah.
We don't know what the trigger word is. but
If you want, you can ask me the question just for the content. You can ask me the question, and then I can give you a one-word answer.
Who would you like to see Schlotterbeck replace?
Wasn't the question, Cal. But
yeah, but Cal knows what he's doing. Cal knows what he's doing. Cal knows what he's doing.
that was not the question, Cal.
Do you think we'll sign Schlotterbeck in Jan once?
Do I think we will?
Yeah.
I think we should, but I don't know if we will, because I think there's still sometimes we still have tendencies of comfort where if the club are doing well, it's only one time in a while that we've seen us strive to do better after we're doing well. You know, so the whole January thing, I kind of need to see it to be proven. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't think we signed a centre back, but I feel like there's a part of me that I think we will, just because of the ACL. I reckon no ACL, no centre back, even though we didn't get Gahey. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'd love to see Schlotterbeck. And I don't think he'll be replacing anyone. I mean, if he wants to replace someone, I have someone in mind, but I don't think it would be him. So that's just, that's all.
Carol trying to get it out.
I think quantity is better than quality. If for Liverpool's sake right now, we need as many centre backs as we can get. I want him at the club right now, regardless. I want this man, the guy that we're not speaking, the name I haven't mentioned. I would like him to be at the club right now, rather than to sell him right now.
Would you extend his contract?
We need it. We're better with him than we are without him, regardless of what my opinion is of him. That's the fact.
Would you extend his contract?
Oh, so obvious who we're talking about now.
Would you extend his contract?
Guys, if you watch Monty's show on a Monday night, you know who we're chatting about.
Does he even want his contract extended?
That's not the question I'm asking. Would you
Does he even want to be here?
You know in Harry Potter when you can't say his name for the first few films, this is basically what this is.
Does he even want to be here? Listen, I like defenders who defend me. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like he's been defending me much. You know what I'm saying?
He's
so
defending
if he doesn't
side.
defend me. I don't know.
No, what he's doing at the moment is defending.
I'm playing. All jokes aside, we are better with him than without him. I think we should extend him. I think he deserves the money. But the inconsistencies is something that's always going to annoy me, and it's not going to have him in conversations that I think he probably should be in, but definitely isn't in. So,
wow, we went around a long way to talk about Canate there.
Yeah, we did.
I just don't want to. Like, I've come here in a Dragon Ball Z. Like if he's watching this, he's probably gonna like the fact that I'm wearing this. I'm just like,
so you're sucking up now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, but big up Mons, because that's probably the nicest you've been about him since 2023, maybe.
What? Oh, here we go.
Hey, look.
I don't remember that.
Cal, why are you trying to cause problems?
No, I'm not.
No, Mons came in and was nice and articulated himself well and yeah, it's like, listen, he's not my guy, but like that, but I would extend he deserves it. You're still prodding him.
I'm trying to get to the nooks and crannies in it. Pause. But,
what answer are you looking for? What answer are you looking for?
Nothing, Mons. Nothing.
Look
at getting agitated.
That segment was like Prime Minister's questions.
You have to be specific. You didn't ask me what I think is wrong with his game. You didn't ask me what I think he's doing wrong. You didn't ask me if I think he's got ADHD. You didn't ask me any of these questions.
You told me all these things. You told me all these things on Monday.
No. I'm just saying you didn't ask me. So if you didn't ask me, I don't need to. Like, this is time and place.
He's got ADHD. He's a mad one, you know.
This is how Mons thinks of him. But look, people, smash the like button. Let's move on to this.
Oh, I think we move on now.
Right. This week, Liverpool's owners, FSG, would have celebrated 15 years at the club. Now, everyone knows how I feel about my owners. Like,
You love them.
they're magic. But, Enz, I want to start with you. 15 years of FSG. What do you make of them from the early years, Klopp's appointment, trophies that they've won, the new regime now with Slot, Hughes and Edwards, and the future?
The first thing I thought about them was like, thank you for saving us, because Liverpool's going down a mad spiral.
We appreciate that.
When was you on their side? Is this like a new thing, or is this like you've always been on their side?
Don't answer that question because don't even answer the question.
So something happened to Monty's mic. I dare you with background.
Okay,
yeah.
So, look,
I've always been an advocate for FSG, also known as the Fenway Sanderson Group. So, yeah.
I do remember a point. I'll answer the question though, Cal, but I do remember a point. My memory ain't that bad. But look, them, buying Liverpool obviously saved the football club, because where it was going, I don't know what this club would have been like if they didn't buy that. I'm sure people would say there's other suitors out there they would have bought, but no one else did. They did. Do you know what I mean? I didn't hear like loads of people clamoring to buy Liverpool at the time. It was like, who's going to buy Liverpool? Because the club is looking like it's going to go down somewhere we don't want it to go down. They bought us. I didn't really think much about them. It was more, okay, what direction we're going to go, what manager you're going to get in, what style of football you're going to play. And they was it Brendan Rodgers under them first? Or was he Brendan Rodgers? And I like the football he was playing. We got close to winning the title, and then obviously it spiraled, and you're like, well, we're gonna go, and then we got Jurgen Klopp, and then obviously history was made from that point. And then I think little things like building on expanding the stadium, changing the training ground, and giving us the AXA training ground and stuff like that. Little things when they the furlough thing kind of gave us all kind of a bad taste when they did that, but they learned from their ways, and they retracted and they changed their minds, and they decided to go down the route they went down. I think my only thing I would say with them was when we needed sometimes strengthening, I feel like they didn't. But then I don't know, because now I've seen Klopp leave. I'm seeing him spend money, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Was it Klopp saying he had enough players, or was him going, or them using his talents and not spending the money? I don't know. I'm hoping Klopp puts it in a book one day, bro. But he's too much of a nice guy to do that. But listen, I think they've done well at the club, man. We came from a team that no one really, apart from the Liverpool fans, cared about or feared, to a team that's now feared around the world. So, and again, in our lifetime, we've seen our team lift 2 Premier Leagues and the Champions League, and we got to multiple finals. And now we've got some top players at our club, and looking like we want to invest and get even more of those players at the football club. So, nah, man, shout out to them, man. But Cal, I do remember a moment when you wasn't.
That's cold.
End by win as well. Something's going on with StreamYard today. Man.
Cold, man.
Jay,
yeah,
you and I have always spoken glowingly about FSG. In terms of
I'm not getting
evolution. In terms of the evolution from sort of Brendan Rodgers to Klopp, a lot of people, not including us, credited Klopp with everything and gave very little credit to FSG. But now you look back and you see that FSG are part of this. Do you think the biggest defining moment of their tenure so far has been appointing Jurgen Klopp?
Yeah, it was the correct move. I mean, I go back to when Brendan Rodgers was sacked after that Everton game, and Thierry Henry and Jamie Carragher, that moment when he touches Carragher's leg when he hears Rodgers got sacked. And then Henry, after the game, criticised FSG for sacking Brendan Rodgers and not knowing football. People forget that, he criticised FSG for not knowing football by sacking Brendan Rodgers, and then they go and hire Jurgen Klopp. And if everyone's seen the Jurgen Klopp documentary, Liverpool were trying to get Jurgen Klopp while Rodgers was manager. So they were already looking. I think they had private meetings in New York, if I remember rightly, and stuff like that. So they were definitely trying to get him.
You did, but that is Twitter. The timeline wasn't as like everyone knows everything as it is now. Do you know what I'm saying? You know now probably who's going to come to the
Yeah,
club.
exactly.
I'm not saying it wasn't a thing. Twitter was still a thing back then.
10 years ago, it was a different world, wasn't it?
But it was, it's a different type of,
But yeah, I look, Jurgen Klopp was a master stroke. I know a lot of people say it was the obvious choice to go and get. Yeah, maybe is, but you still got to convince him to come to the football club to be your manager at the end of the day. And that he was the perfect manager for them because they worked very well together. They worked extremely well together. The FSG have had, I said it last night, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly with them, like any ownership. All ownerships are the same. But I look at the players we've had at our football club in the last 10, 12 years, some tremendous players. Tremendous players. We sit here, we've sat on streams for years saying we've got the best keeper in the world, the best centre-back in the world, best right winger in the world, best left winger in the world when Mane was there, arguably the best false nine in Bobby Firmino, Fabinho. These players, quality footballers. And, that's because they're the owners. Do they put their own hands in their pockets with their own cash? No. But I don't really care where the money's coming from as long as it's helping the football club. Financially, we're a good run club as well. I think behind the scenes is always well run. Yeah, we have a bit of debt like most football clubs do, but it's working debt. When I see a club like Man United do a huge on the way they're badly run right now, I sometimes think it's the better the devil you know than you don't. When we talk about ownership a lot of the time, look at Chelsea. Chelsea has spent more money than anyone. Would you rather Bowley and Clear Lake or FSG right now in the last couple of years? Do you know what I mean? I'd rather FSG. So, yeah, when we did the famous FSG at our Kop-Ish debate, 4 years ago now, Cal?
Yeah, dark.
I was always FSG in then. I was always FSG in then. So
Cal wasn't though, was he?
No,
I can't talk on that. To be fair,
I had to be media.
Sorry,
I've got an NDR, so I cannot.
I had to be the mediator for that. And that, I'll be honest, after that show finished, I did have some harsh words to say with Matt and Drift because some of their
you know what's actually funny about that whole. I remember getting the call up for that stream. I remember getting the call up, and when he's like, "Oh, I'm doing the FSG in, the FSG out," and I said, "There are guys who are FSG in." And I guess what Carl's reaction was, I know. I know. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I know.
So
I know.
why?
That's what I'm saying. I know. I thought I was by myself. That's what I'm saying to most.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. I was like, bro, I didn't realize I was the only one by myself. But yeah, man, look at us now. Look at us now. Months.
Wow.
I come to you because Jamie put it brilliantly. The fact that we signed some of the best players, etc., and what we've done. But a lot of credit has to also go to Michael Edwards when him and Klopp were together. They were fantastic. And now we've seen Edwards back and Hughes' hair now. How do you see the future under FSG and what are your expectations now going forward from
them? Very positive. I think they've finally looked at the situation we're in and they've decided to be proactive than reactive. I think proactive owners will always be better than reactive owners. Simply because you're always trying to stay one step ahead. When you're winning, you want to stay one step ahead. When you're playing catch up, you tend to be more reactive to situations. And I want to see the club be reactive at specific times. So if there are injuries, if there are problems with the squad, I want them to reach into the pockets and make a difference. But it's also not just the squad. It's also, again, the backroom staff who we're appointing upstairs. If we're talking about getting rid of Jurgen and then bringing back Michael Edwards, bringing in Richard Hughes. You know what I'm saying? All these are appointments that I have very high, No,
go on. It's his laptop.
It was FSG. So I thought it was FSG. But yeah, I think that the manager appointments, and as I said, the director of football, these are the appointments that I'm very, very proud of the board of doing. That has definitely swayed my view of the board. Don't get me wrong, in terms of the money spending, I haven't been swayed by that because it's only once that we've spent money like this. Now, obviously, whether we do it again, I'm not expecting to do it every single year, but this could be the one flash in the pan and we don't see it again for another 10 years. Do we go back to saying FSG out then? So does the whole I'm not saying maybe so much Jamie, but do the masses say that again? So there are definitely things to be proud of when it comes to FSG. Very proud of, very, you know what I'm saying, very complimentary about. As I said, you look at their choices of manager bit by bit have been absolutely spot on. You know what I'm saying? Especially when, as I said, when they came in, we don't know where it was a dark time, as N said. It weren't. We don't really talk. We act like that time
People
didn't
don't
happen.
know, bro.
It was a dark period.
Might not have had a club, you know. That's how dark it was getting.
It was yeah. And the thing is that even back then, man weren't even like when it come to Liverpool, I was more just solely focused on what was going on the pitch. Man didn't really care about what's happening upstairs. At that, like back then, innit? I was more like, are we spending or are we not? Are we spending or are we not? You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing. But when you look more into it and do a bit more research, like they've done a fantastic job. Don't get me wrong. There's been blips and blahs that I really haven't liked, i.e. the Super League. They're not the only owners who would have. We could have had different owners. They still probably would have advocated for the Super League. So, you know, I think that's a slight on every owner, by the way, or most owners, rather than just an FSG thing. And I think that I'll never forgive them after we retained after we won the league in 2020. That's an unforgivable January. For me, that was unforgivable. But obviously, there are conversations that we don't know as fans, such as, was Jurgen Klopp happy to keep the squad? How much of Jurgen Klopp was it, as well as the owners, rather than just painting the owners with that money spending brush, or we don't need anyone brush, and Cal, stop nodding your head, and all these things. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, for me, I think if the owners can carry on this, you know, proactive kind of action that we've seen from the club, if they can carry on being proactive and not reactive, because remember, we're winning now. We're at the top of the crop. We're on paper the best team in the league. We've spent the most money. How many times in FSG's reign have we been able to say we're top of the league? We've spent the most.
Yeah, so, it shows that they've always been willing to spend.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's all about money, and they're not always going to get it right, but bringing back in the scouts, bringing back in, as I said, Michael Edwards. This is what I want. Like, I'm really happy. Like, cool. It was a heinous crime to not bring in any signings last season, and I think our memories are very, very fickle at times to forget that we only bought Chiesa and Mamardashvili and off loan last season. That is unforgivable in itself after getting rid of an all-timer manager. And when you get rid of an all-timer manager, you must back the guy who comes in. Yeah. Yes, we won the league. And ultimately, you know what I'm saying? John Henry's going to tell me, yeah, but Montel, we won the league. So what are you saying? So cool. I hear that.
John Henry wouldn't speak to you. He wouldn't speak to you.
Well, he would. He'd probably dap me up. I ain't going to lie. You know what I'm saying?
The thing last summer, which I do agree with now, look, we tried to get Zubimendi and it didn't work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you look at who we employed in Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, they came into a team in like the whole squad transition from the Klopp era to a different era, new people behind the scenes, new coaches, for the first time in so many years. And, you know, was left, you know, with 3 players left on their last year of contracts and stuff like that. Tried to get Zubimendi and didn't quite work. I weren't surprised we didn't have a massive summer. I see the reasons behind it, you know, and then obviously we've had the brilliant summer this year. So I think we look a lot sometimes on transfers as ownerships. I think we look a lot on transfers sometimes.
More than that. Yeah, it's more than that.
And transfers is all good and well and good, yeah, but it's about the whole running of a football club, ain't it? You know, you look at the way Chelsea spend money on transfers, the way Man United spend money on transfers. You know, if you spend a lot of money and don't get it right, you know, it can take you years to get that back again to eventually get it right. So spending on transfers is very strategic. You have to get transfers correct.
That's different from Chelsea than United, though, because Chelsea have so much outgoings with their youth that allows
their selling's extremely good.
That's different from Man United.
Yeah, their selling's extremely good. But you know, if I was a Chelsea fan and I spent that much money and my attack was João Pedro and the guy from Ipswich, and then Liverpool have gone and spot bet who who have not got as much financial power, liquid money as Chelsea have, and we got Ekatike and Isak, I'd actually be upset as a Chelsea fan. If I, to be
of
fair.
course, but that's because their current owners. We're talking about. We was talking about Bowley and Clearlake and that's an example of ownership who's actually knows their football stuff. Big difference. Be it running a business and wanting the best for the club. I know it sounds so obvious that, oh wait, why would you run a business and not want to, like, we're not saying Bowley doesn't want the best for Chelsea, but if you look at Roman and Bowley are doing the same things. They're buying the young players, selling the young players, giving them spending power and seeing what they could do. But Roman actually loved the club to the point where he wanted, like, it was, yeah, cool, we're going to sell all these young players, but we're also going to go and get Cesc Fabregas. We're also going to get Andre Schürrle. We're also going to get Pedro. We're also going to get Diego Costa. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference.
But then they did well in the off-field, but off the field, you can argue that their stadium's still their stadium. The training ground hasn't been, there's things as well that needs improving as well. So I always look at ownership. I think as fans, we always look at ownership about just for the transfers and what the players on the pitch. But I think you have to look at the bigger scale of football ownership today. It's a business. People might not like it, but it is. Football is a massive business. It creates so much money. I know people argue it. Look, they oversaw the rebuilding of Anfield and the extra training ground. Now, a lot of people say they didn't use their own money to do that. I don't know any ownership in the world, unless you're state-owned, that can officially, with their own money, build a new training ground, rebuild a stadium, and buy players at the same time. Do you know what I mean? That's just who can actually do that. So, I'm cool with it. Yeah, they put a loan against the club to do that, but then they pay back the loan, and it doesn't leave us any problems. I just, and the future's bright. I don't think any of us can sit here and say, even if you're FSG out, you can see the future's bright because the money we're pulling in now as a football club, we look like we're willing to spend. We look like we're willing to pay wages now. A thing that a lot of people have always spoke about, are we willing to actually pay these wages? The rumours that Ekatike is on 200 grand a week as a 22-year-old striker and his first big, big club. Isak almost on 300, Salah on 400, Virgil on 350 as older players. So obviously Liverpool and the ownership are willing to do business, which needed now. But I think what's helped them, unbelievably, what I believe has helped FSG is actually PSR. Because Liverpool have so much sponsorship come through their club, they're ahead. Liverpool are already £200 million ahead of PSR next summer. Liverpool could outspend teams like Manchester City next summer because they're already ahead of PSR so quickly. And I actually think that's helped an ownership like FSG who wants to be sustainable. And if you're going to be sustainable by when they started, our sustainability was smaller because our growth was smaller. Now our growth is bigger, our sustainability is bigger. So if you're having a summer where your sustainability is a 200 to 300 million pound summer, I'm happy. I can't speak for everyone, but I'm happy by that. I'm perfectly happy by that. If you're still building up in the background.
But Jay, that's what I said. Like we've smashed the PSR. You know what I'm saying? We smashed the rule. Well, the rules where we have enough money to spend expeditiously, let's just say. But I want to see it more often because after we've seen it in the year we won the Champions League or the year before, that summer before we won the Champions League, and we bought in Alisson, we bought in certain players, bought in Van Dijk in January, bought in Alisson, bought in Fabinho. We've had, cool, it's not 400 million in one window, yes, it's not, but at that time, what was it, like 200 M's? Like, 100, that was basically the 400 M's at that time. You could kind of say things weren't as inflated as they were.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I think I'd love to see how we react next window and the window after. It's all hindsight talk now, so I'm not going to pass judgment for something that hasn't happened yet. But
no, you only got to talk in the present, ain't you? You got to speak in the present. Yeah.
To be fair as well, though, man. Yeah. I'm with you on that in terms of let's see what happens in the following windows. But if we get it right, say this summer we've got in the players we need to get in, and then January comes, we get in the players we need to get in. I'm with you. We don't need to really spend too much. I just think you just top up and you assess where we don't need to go and have 400 or 500 million summers again. I don't think you need to if you fix the issues we have at hand. No, I know. I'm just saying, I don't think we need to even go that far. I just think 2 max 3 or one max 2 players every window. I think that's how you recycle it, depending on if you find any issues. You buy a player and he's probably not cutting it,
Depends
and
on
you give him a
outgoings as
year
well.
and up. Yeah, and that as well. Players want to move, and it looks like in this market, in the day and age with these footballers, players are going to want to move, bro. They
And
just
we
want
sold
to
well this
move.
window. We sold very well this window. A lot, like we moved on a decent amount of players.
I think we
And-
made like 200 plus, upwards of that. Of sales,
Yeah, we
which is
did, we did.
crazy.
But you know what, though, and just to kind of what you said, yeah, in terms of Liverpool spending, I think the reason why we spent like this is because over the last how many years we didn't really spend big. So like there was always going to be that big summer where we had to bring in quite a lot of players because we were almost drip feeding in players. Do you get what I'm saying? Like the last big transfer window that we kind of had was under Jurgen, where we had to revamp the whole midfield. And really and truly, that should never really happen. You should never go into any window and having to revamp, say, your whole front line or your whole midfield or your whole defense. But because we did that, obviously that puts us in a great position. Then you started to realize, okay, there's other players that want to leave now. And I do feel like, obviously, due to the horrible circumstances to Diogo, RIP Diogo, we almost moved forward a bit of our plans forward by 12 months as well. So obviously, Diogo leaving us, Núñez being sold, Diaz being sold, Liverpool like, all right, cool. Let's bring in all these players now. We might even get one more potentially, but then January, next summer, we shouldn't need a whole revamp again. We just need to just bring in them players that we need, like how a business and a football club should run. Like you said, it shouldn't be every summer you need to spend 300 million or 400 million.
No.
In my opinion, if you're doing that every summer, it means you've made too many mistakes and you're trying to rectify them. Even
Agreed.
if you are selling well, because here's the thing. You're bringing in players hoping that they do well over, say, a good 5 to 6 years. If you're bringing in players that are only lasting you about a year or two, that means that signing hasn't worked out. And that's now why you're trying to replace them. And that's where Chelsea are. So even though Chelsea, they do have the money to do that, kind of like what you said as well, Mons. They've got rich owners, but they don't have the right footballing people. Like, we're lucky we have Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. Like, they are actual footballing people. They know exactly what the club needs and what the manager needs. With Chelsea, maybe they might change a little bit, but their whole consensus is we're just bringing a crop of players and want that a few of them should work. If they don't work, we'll just sell them on. And I just keep doing it until it lands. That's a bad way, in my opinion, of trying to get success.
I hear it. How are we all feeling about the future, though? Do we think FSG will continue to deliver trophies along with the regime, or are we at risk of others? Yeah, obviously, Spurs.
Contract? You don't know.
Wow!
What? So,
Wow! Montiel, I told you, Monty's messy ends. I told you, bro.
Hey, Montiel.
That was. I was thinking out loud.
Thinking out loud. No, listen. I think they will do. I think they will continue to deliver, just because of the moves of getting Richard Hughes back, Edwards back. I think putting him in terms of control of the football inside for us. That's a man that understood what it took to deliver and get top players, and then he's got the people underneath him like Hughes, and then Hughes obviously went and got on a slot. And the type of players that we're going after now, we get in the Schlotterbecks and stuff like that, where we're offering for. Where before we'd probably go and get an unknown and hope this player becomes good. We're going to get the ready-mades, like what we said earlier with Jamie. Again, we're getting ready-made players now. I feel like they're in a position now, and especially with the statement, I heard you read it out the other day, Matt. Obviously, I read it as well. It sounds like they, from what they said, they're not finished yet, and there's still more stuff to win. So it just shows that, look, we probably come to we've come to an era now where we're like, right, we need to go again and we need to be dominant. How do we become dominant? Because we had a moment when we could have been, and we messed that up as a club. Them as an owner, we decided not to buy the players when we needed to buy them. I feel like now getting these players, they're probably having a long-term vision of we can be dominant with this squad once it clicks, once we get the right formula and get the right people in place. This team could dominate for the next 4 or 5 years. But it's gonna take a little bit of time just to get everything gelling and getting the right system, because the
you're not
players are
allowed
young
time
as well.
Ends. Have you not known this? You're not yet. Don't you know you're not allowed time?
No, I want success now as well, bro. But I get it in it. I understand it. Like I don't have to go against myself at times when I'm
Would
like,
we
no,
be
we need to
giving
win
anyone
now.
else time if they spend this money? Would we be giving them anyone else?
Nah, I don't even think it's the money months. Like I don't even look at it. I just look at them as players instead of the money.
It's the amount of man. It's the changeover. But I just think we weren't really talking about the changeover and the elations of the signings. Not to say we're not allowed to speak about that. The time, the adaptation time. We're absolutely allowed to speak about that. That's a better football conversation than just shouting and screaming about signings. But obviously, yes, it was a gassy summer. We ain't really been here before in a while, let's just say. But it is we did kind of get hit with a bit of a reality check. I think that's fair to say in terms of
definitely
being a bit more rocky than what we thought it was going to be. The quality we actually hold in the squad in what we've brought in.
Oh, we got high quality. We got high quality. I don't think we got
quality on paper. The quality is just
Once it clicks, it'll be fine. It will click eventually. It's going to take time, but you are right, Mods. Obviously, we're gassed in the summer. All of us were, and it's going to take time for it to click, which we've seen now, and we just have to stay by that. But look, the future's bright with Liverpool. If you look at the age range of players we're buying as well, they're all in their early 20s. They're here for the foreseeable. I think, we didn't buy Verts just for the opening 7 weeks of a Premier League season. He's here for 5 to 6 years of his contract, where the club feel like he will get it right eventually, and it'll be fine. I think the difference between us and a lot of other clubs with a lot of money is that Liverpool still can't get transfers wrong, because they can't just go out. If Liverpool buy Verts and it goes wrong, Liverpool would have to sell him to recap that money to go and buy someone again. Yeah. Where I think with Chelsea and all that at the moment, if they got a player that's wrong, even a City, if they got a player that's wrong, they could just buy a new one.
I don't know if we would have to with one, maybe with two. I don't think we'd have to with one, because we bought Ekatike for, and then we literally went
70-odd million, ain't it?
But the first one is different, no monster, because you're right in Ekatike.
Because Verts is a superstar, though, ain't he?
The Verts add-ons wouldn't be added on, so it would be 100 million, not 160 million for one.
No, you're right, Monts. But the Ekatike, sorry, cut you. But the Ekatike thing is a bonus, right? Because here's how I saw it: Isak was brought in to replace Salah's goals long term. Ekatike was seen as a project striker who's going to get better, but he's hit the ground running straight away.
It was a Darwin replacement, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then but Verts is like the Trent Alexander-Arnold replacement for like your creativity and now the creative hub. I feel like this one signing months, we cannot I think he's gonna be fine in it. Like, even if it takes him until Christmas, like it'll be annoying as a fan to have to wait that long, but it's gonna work. My only thing is, let's say our worst things happen and like it doesn't work in the Prem for whatever reason, you just can't adapt. That's why I think Jamie's right. We can't afford to lose that amount of money, because we bought it for 100. You probably have to send it back to Germany.
My owners, right? Like my owners, 200 above PSR, my owners, right? So it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if works or not. My owners.
No, Mons, listen.
That feels
we can't play both sides of the fence. We have the money now. We don't have to spend like this every window, but we have to spend in power now. This is why I said consistency, not to spend 400, 500 every window and just spot on, not to spend that much every window. I'm just saying it's not with how we are moving now, with our spending and how we've moved around PSR and our selling, how we've always sold well, by the way. So that's another thing, another credit to FSG. We've always sold well. But we're not going to sit here and say that recouping Verts is going to be very difficult after what we've shown in the way we can move, the way we move, the way we operate.
Do you guys think it won't work though? Do you guys don't?
No. I think it will.
It'll work. I don't think Verts has been that bad. I think it's an oversaturation.
He hasn't. At the same time, though,
he hasn't been great.
He's still been a bit below par.
I'm talking about the recoup. The recoup shouldn't be an issue if we're talking about the owners the way we're talking about the owners.
Months. You know when they say
I don't think it's
doing a lot today, Months.
Hear what I'm saying? You never forget who you are, yeah? We was that guy that sold our PS4
Mm.
and all of our games, yeah, and the Xbox 360, everything to go get the P5, yeah? We got the P5 now, right? Cool. That's Isak, all them players there, Ekatike. We got the P5. We're blessed now. Months. But remember, we had to sell all them games to get that P5. Do you get what I'm saying? So when the P6 comes out,
That's not true. Technically,
Yes,
we could have spent more.
months.
We could have spent even more. Actually, we could have spent even more money if you wanted to.
No. Yes, because months.
been
If you go and look at Liverpool's spending over the last
Right.
6 to 7 years, we're nowhere
Right.
near the top, bro. Wanna know why?
So
we used to go
we have-
CX month
Are
all
you?
the time.
So are you?
We
yeah,
bought
yeah.
the
So
used
this,
games.
but this is what I'm saying. So
It's fine.
so
though.
this is my point. So you know when we say about being rich and having all this money and being able to spend,
Mhm.
can we really spend what we're saying that we can spend if having to recoup on Verts is going to be an issue and having to sell to recoup on Verts? I don't believe we have to sell to recoup on.
You
Florian
cannot spend
I don't
100
believe-
mil on any player, though.
I
Any
think
top
it's
club.
it's more. I think apart from a
I don't
personnel
believe-
thing, it's just a bit of a PR disaster. That I think that's more what it is. If
But do you
didn't
think
work.
Liverpool can afford to lose that? Again, this
Yes,
is
it's
only
more of
if
a
we're saying-
PR.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we can,
Yes.
to be fair. Yeah.
Matt,
Yes,
Really?
Matt.
See, I slightly disagree with that. So even though I
Yeah.
know the club is in a
Rich,
healthy
Matt.
way and healthy state, I know everyone will say because of the summer we got money. But let's not forget though, like let's not kid ourselves and act like top players didn't come off that wage bill as well, and we didn't do any big spending other than that midfield that we had to rebuild. Other than that, bro, we've been drip feeding in our signings, like I said before.
This
I
is,
don't-
yeah, yeah, but that's my point though.
You
My
lot now
point is
think
that
like we could just
now
go.
we're like
Yeah,
if
go
I'm
on, go
going
on.
like this, rollies, not just one, rollies on my wrist. You know what I'm saying? Out of on my wrist. If I'm doing all of that, yeah, and then when I'm in the echo chamber, I'm saying, yo, listen, hey, if the things depend, if it snaps, can't lie, the recoup's a bit mad still, but then I'm going to the club. You see what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like we're doing right now. If we're talking about all this money that I got,
No, we got
all this
money,
money
Moss.
I
I'm
can
not
spend,
saying. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? All these girls on my table, you know what I'm
I
saying?
think I
VVS.
think if we sold him, we'd just buy a different profile of player.
This is it. This is it. If it doesn't work,
No,
I
I think you
believe
guys
we
get
will
mixed
go again. And that is the step I believe the ownership have made in how
Well,
good you've been with PSR.
If
So Matt,
you just
sorry,
got
Matt,
to
We've
read the
got money in the
financials.
bank.
So Matt, you let me
Hear
get
what I'm
this straight.
saying? No. Hear what I'm saying.
he's
So
still
we've
got
got
the
money.
CEX mindset.
No,
This is why-
hear what I'm saying. We've got money in the bank. There's no denying that. Come on, you can't spend all this amount of money and think we ain't got money. However, let's not act like we didn't make 200 mil sales. I know
Yes.
on the face of the thing it says we spent 400 mil, but we recouped 200 mil. I need people to remember,
Good business, man.
focus.
Good business.
But
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
because Matt,
Yeah,
goes
Matt,
saying-
if he doesn't
Matt-
work out at Liverpool, I reckon we can get close to what we sold.
You think so?
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I think
No
if he
matter
goes
because
back-
we don't rate him.
Yeah.
No matter if we don't rate him, bro. The world
did
of
we recoup
football
on
and the
Darwin?
Bundesliga do.
Look how we didn't recoup on Darwin.
No, to be fair, not really. But obviously,
No,
let's take some losses,
we
man.
barely recouped on Darwin.
No,
But
what I think there's only a
that's
slight
something-
variation on what
that's
I'm
something we
saying
used to worry about. That's something we used to worry about.
What
No?
I'm saying is there's a slight variation, not in totality to what you guys are saying. So, for example, when Salah does eventually leave, that is a 400 grand wage bill off the thing, innit? So I'm expecting Liverpool to go and get Elise or whatever. That should not be a problem.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, though, you see, like the 400 mil that we spent just this summer. If we had to do that again, I would worry a little bit unless there were some more outgoings.
Yes, but it's not about doing it again. It's about can you do it again? This is what I said about consistency with the board. And
Yeah.
It's not about spending 400 mil every summer.
No,
It's just
I even
about
said that.
If
Must
you
not
need
be.
to do it, can you do it?
And I think if we don't sort out the back line, we might even do that again because the only one that's a guaranteed is at the moment is Virgil in the back line.
Yeah.
Everyone
true.
else is up for like we got a teenager that's out.
Yeah.
Gomez is got. It looks like he'll go as well, and Konate's future is unknown at the moment. So at the moment we got one centre back that looks. So that means we might have to go that course. That's why I said we're better off if we don't want to go and spend that kind of money again. You're better off getting Aguay in January, just buying him and loaning him back to guarantee you getting him, and give Konate a contract.
just quickly.
Hey, if we
Ends,
don't do that, we're gonna have to go and spend loads, bro.
do you think we made a mistake? So hear the pattern now. What's this pattern? Midfield under Jurgen Klopp, we had to wait for them all not to. They can't run anymore. That's when we sell them. Fabinho, Henderson, Naby, they all leave. We have to replace the hot.
They only sold Fabinho and Hendo because they both came out and said they wanted to leave.
So this is what I'm going to say. So we had to rebuild the whole midfield. The attack now. A lot of people said Darwin should went out for the first season, second season. Yeah, we kept hold of Darwin. Diaz, I didn't want to see leave. Obviously, the loss to Diogo. And did anyone else leave for the front line? I don't think so. So, but again, you still had to replace players. Again, like let's just say the Darwin one at least, and we left that to the last minute again. We could have maybe sold him in January and got more money. Now we get to the defense again. Trent Alexander-Arnold, obviously we're trying to keep hold of him. He leaves.
Who? I don't know that name.
Yeah, all right. Konate, contract situation up in the air. Gomez, you don't know what you're going to get from Gomez anymore. Virgil's only got one more year after this year. I feel like with Liverpool, it's kind of frustrating. It's like we have to wait for everything to happen and then go, we're going to do something now. And
the good thing now, the good thing though, Matt, is you're right that we had to leave it there. But I think once the defense is done, I think we're cool going forward after that. Because then it becomes a level playing field in terms of the age groups and the type of players that we've got in. I feel like before you could always see, that's going to need changing after you change the midfield, the attack needs changing after you change that the defense. But I think once we solidify this defense and get the players in that we need to get in, I think that's it now. Now I think it's about when one leaves, you can then add. When one leaves, you can add.
But you're saying that in a perfect scenario. What my worry is, I was listening to a little bit of the show. You're speaking about the Guehi thing, about getting him in January. And I like that idea, what you said. What worries me now is, let's say that doesn't happen. Now you're going to be fighting for Guehi in the summer. Leone's got a year out. We hope and pray that he comes back okay. Konate, we don't know what's going on. Not saying that these things can't be resolved. It's just that that's still a lot of work to do. And one thing I don't like us doing is that normally when we have a lot to do, we get the majority right, but there will always be that one thing that we miss out on, and it could be detrimental. And that detrimental thing, it looks like so far, could be not getting Guehi in the summer. Because guess what we all said? Imagine if we have a centre-back crisis. Ibu's apparently injured. He got released from international duty.
Apparently he's not
Leone
precautionary.
Okay, fair play. Precautionary. Leone obviously
he was injured before he left.
He was.
Yeah.
That's the same Powell's always FSG and like it's precautionary. Come on, guys.
And then Gomez as well. Like I don't know what's going to happen.
I agree. I agree. I think Liverpool definitely looked at the centre back situation in the summer. That's why they were looking at Gay in the first place.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand the why Liverpool left it late on Gay. And if it weren't for Glasner doing what Glasner did, then he would be a Liverpool player now. Liverpool obviously didn't want to let Joe Gomez go to Palace, so they wanted to keep Gomez as well. So, yeah, with Leone, I mean,
could you imagine if we sold Gomez earlier on in the window?
Yeah, well, obviously did.
And then they pulled the plug on the move.
Yeah,
but
Gomez
obviously,
he was linked to. But obviously,
was it Milan? Was it Milan?
AC Milan, yeah.
It was Arne Slot who said he's not going anywhere.
No, that's what I'm saying. Imagine if that happened and then Glasner still pulled the plug.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like, you could have lived in a world where that could have been a thing.
It's obvious that Arne Slot didn't want Gomez to go because he's the one who stopped it happening. The only thing you could never foresee an ACL injury like that happening.
That's one of the biggest what ifs, man. What a player!
And you look at Mark Gay. Look, Liverpool wanted him. I understand why Liverpool didn't want to pay 50 million all summer because he's got 1 year left in his deal. It makes no sense. I do think Liverpool and Gay have done a deal already, and he'll be a Liverpool player next summer, in my opinion. I think that's why they're going to get Schlotterbeck in January. And build up a defence going next season and the seasons after this because of the summer we've had, and I think that's what Enzo was saying. We don't need, if we only buy 2 players, but they're quality footballers next summer for the positions we need, I'm cool with it. I can't say for anyone else, but I'm good with it. If it's the 2 positions that we need and they're quality players, because of the summer we've had, you put the foundations in place. Now you just need to decorate the home, don't you, for the years to come?
You
That's all
Can
you
I-
identify your issues and then you act 100%. And those issues,
I
we don't have a lot of them. Yeah, go on, Enzo.
Can I add to what you were saying now? Because, Mike, I was thinking, why you were saying sometimes we overfocus on certain positions and we might leave ourselves light. So I'm trying to process it. So it's the scenario I'm thinking of, you're thinking is we go and really focus on the defense, but then we know we need like a DM and we need cover for Mo, potentially a left winger as well in the team. But because we've neglected the defense for a while, we've now left ourselves where we have to focus fully on that. But then we've left those areas where we're like, if we would have fixed this, like now we become unstoppable. So is that the problem you have where we just focus just solely on getting all the, as I said, the quick fix for that is, bro, the Mark Way stuff, just sort that out in January, sort out Kanate's contract, and then it gives you less work. Then you can focus on just getting a Schlotterbeck and going, right, now he's our guy. So now you got Virgil, Schlotterbeck, Kanate is still here, Mark Way. You got 4. Gomez is still here. You can decide what you want to do with it. It hits the number that Cal likes, the 5 centre back as well, so he'll be happy. And then you can go, right, do we need that deep line ball playing defensive midfielder that we're craving for? Then you can focus on who's out there like that. Who's going to be the right side? We can then focus on getting that right hand side. But you're right, we leave ourselves where we're going to have to, like, Kanate leaves. Gomez leaves.
Yeah.
And then we only have Virgil left at the back. Then you're like, we actually have to go and get 3 centre backs. Like, you're going to have to go and get 3 centre backs. And then that means you're going to have to neglect the cover for Mo because he's going to be on his way out. And you're going to have to get the guy that's going to come and take over from him. On the left-hand side, only Rio's there at the moment. Is he going to be the guy or what we doing there? Are we going to get someone there? And then we got that ball playing deep line playmaker that the team looks like they need. So it's going to be, that's what I said. We can fix the issue early, bro, but it depends on what Liverpool do. If Liverpool
100%.
go and get Gueye in January, go and give Ibu that contract, I think everything else that we know or we think we need in the squad, I think we'll fix. But if we allow that to manifest, it's going to be long, bro. Because then you're going to spend the whole summer sorting out the back line.
I think it's going to be very hard for Liverpool to buy a midfielder anytime soon.
Say that again, sorry, Jay?
I think it's going to be very hard for Liverpool to buy a midfielder anytime soon.
Can I ask why you think that? Why? Or
if you look at McAllister at his best, gets in most teams in Europe, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So he plays for Liverpool. Gravenberch the same. He starts for Liverpool. Wirtz is the attacking midfielder. He starts for Liverpool. These are all first choice big names. Szoboszlai is a Slot. Slot loves him, so he plays no matter what. Curtis Jones is a perfect squad player, I would say. Doesn't need to be first choice, but can be relied on to be a very good squad player. Not a big name player, not massive wages or anything like that hurts the club. Going to get an Adam Walton or a Baleba, I think one of the big names have to go. Because how do you squeeze them all in and keep them all happy? It'd be extremely difficult to do.
I think keeping them all happy, that's what comes down to man management. I agree with you. But at the same time, normally...
Where's Baleba going to play? He ain't going to play.
No, but what I was going to say is normally, if you are the best, you normally have the most options majority of the time. And I look at, say, PSG, but I'm talking about their front line. Their front line has Barcola, Dembele, Desiree Doué, Kvaratskhelia, Goncalo Ramos. They play 4-3-3. So 2 are always missing out. Midfield, I guess, is slightly different, right? But you still need a plethora of options. If you don't have them options and you get that one injury, you already go back to your squad player. And that's where I'm a little bit like, okay, the squad player can do well, but let's say one of your top players is out for a prolonged amount of time. You need to kind of just replace quality with quality. Now, it's not going to be easy, Jay. I agree with you. And it's probably something that Liverpool probably thinking about is keeping that squad harmony. But at the same time, we also can't predict as well when players want to leave. Because I'll be honest with you, if you said to me 2-3 years ago, oh yeah, Trent's going to leave, I would say, we talk, Trent ain't going nowhere, bro. So like, again, it's almost future-proofing as well. Because these players that are...
Wasn't it down to the board, Cal? Or was that down to the...
A lot of it was down to the board.
See, when we was having our conversations about the midfield earlier, when Matt was bringing it up, and he was right, like we wait till the last, we waited till the last minute to change our whole midfield because they died on their ass.
Yeah,
some of that you got to blame on the manager as well at the time. Because
agreed.
if your manager goes on a massive YouTube channel that is seen by millions of people and names off all the midfielders and says who you can get better, it's how do you do business that summer for midfielders and keep them players happy? How do you go, right, I called you all out and said, how can I get better? But then go and replace them that summer.
Why do we always have a manager that has to write stuff down on paper and read it out?
Yeah.
On an interview?
No, bro.
We always have a gaffer that has to go and get a paper around and go, like, we've got
yeah.
Oxlade, we've got Henderson, we've got this. Like, bro, don't
remember the quote? He said something like, if where can I find what was it, Cal? Where can I find a midfielder that's 1 meter 90 something more? Yeah, but he's trying to say like
can arrive in the box late and score
and
goals.
I'm thinking, brother, who rattled?
There's plenty
you
of them, my guy.
But if you say that, and how would it look in the market if you then go and replace one of them players that exact summer you make that comments? How do you keep the rest of the midfield morales up? It's difficult. You got to sometimes just keep.
The thing is, Klopp is a legend. He will forever be a legend, but no legend is even perfect. Klopp, for me, one of the things that I say kind of let himself down was I feel like he trusted players a bit too much at times.
He got power hungry as well at the end of it.
And I just feel like with players, he loved the players so much that they were just like his sons, his brethren, isn't it? And he never wanted to let any of them down. So when he used to say things like, I believe in Ox, I believe in Naby, these are quality players. And we used to look at him and go, yeah, they're good, bro, but their availability is really bad. He would just still talk about, yeah, but when they're available, their quality is there. And that's the thing. Love Jurgen for what he done. But again, like, there's no harm in criticizing someone just because they're not perfect. No one is perfect. And that was just one of his downfalls, is that some of his players let him down, whether it be performances or whether it be their availability. And yeah, I think some of that now you can see with Slot. Slot is a bit different. Slot is more like, if you ain't good enough, you're not going to be here. And sometimes it can be quite harsh, because I'll give you one name. He's Italian. Federico Chiesa. I've been saying it from day. When that brother signed, he was not a Slot signing. I don't know what signing it was. I think it was the committee or whatever. They just said, go get that player. I think he'll do well in the squad. They just thought we'll take a gamble to say he used to be this player.
It was
whoever reason, Slot don't trust him. Yeah, Slot don't trust him. And he don't trust Endo either. He don't trust him. You don't trust.
You can tell the players that Slot ball, they all play.
Yeah.
They all play. So I know there's been a lot of discourse with some people saying that are these Slot signings, the Vertses and the Kirkeses and all out of this world. They obviously are, because they play every week. They play every week.
Yeah.
And tell me a manager that wouldn't want Isaac and Verts. You know?
I agree.
You know?
One thing I will say though, Jay, and this is one I'm still to this day baffled about. He's the only signing that I don't know. You see, Kirkes. I don't know if any of you lot saw International Duty, but I did the game on my channel, yeah. And I was watching closely how Kirkes was playing. It's so different to how Arne Slot uses him, and it's like Arne Slot refuses to utilize him as he should be. This whole build-up in the back three using Kirkes as a centre-back drives me insane.
Long.
He is a left-back who can put in crosses like old-school Andy Robertson. And here's the killer. You see what Jacob Murphy was doing? And flipping Lewis Hall when they're fizzing in crosses for Isak. Isak kind of thrives off that. I don't understand why we don't utilise that.
To be fair, when Kirkes does do it, when Kirkes does do it and overlaps and gets forward, Cody just ignores him. So
again,
Cody just goes.
You see how
I don't need you, brother. Go back there.
You guys just see Cal's. You know what I'm saying? Because Cal obviously, Cal is actually repulsed by Gakpo, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? He finds him repugnant. He's repulsed by Cody. He finds him repugnant. He finds his existence repugnant. Like it is what it is.
Great.
I'd actually think if Chiesa played on the left, he'd link up with Ekatike.
I'm gonna leave on that. Guys.
All right, man.
What'd you say, Jamie?
I'm saying if Chiesa played on the left, I actually think he links up with Kirkes more than Cody does.
Boy,
That's
listen,
if Arne
guys,
Slot
I'm gonna
allows
leave
him
it
to
on
go
that.
forward,
You know
innit?
what I'm saying? Kyle, I hope you can get rid of those demons there with Cody about Monday. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, take care. Go subscribe. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of the show, guys.
Big up, bro.
Nasty work.
Oh man.
Nasty work. Big
Wow.
up. Let's get up to you, and then we'll let you.
Cody on international duty as well. He's a madman.
Everyone on international duty, I think, pretty much.
It's easier football, though, ain't it? Let's face it.
Yeah. Actually, Jurgen Klopp had to put Henderson at centre back at one point. This whole if Jurgen didn't want to spend money, think is ridiculous.
No, that's where they messed up. We all agree.
Slight blip in the ownership, but that's.
But look, Liverpool wanted Kanate and Klopp wanted Kanate that January.
No, but
Liverpool
that,
bought
though,
him in the summer.
even with that though, sorry to interrupt, Jay. Even with
had
that,
Nat
like we had
Phillips and Reece
mad injuries though. No,
But
we
also
just had
Nat-
mad.
But we also had Nat Phillips and Reece Williams who could have played at centre
Yeah,
back.
and then it looked bad because then it got to a point where even the midfielders we put there, then they got injured. Remember, Fab and Hendo played centre back and they both got injured.
Mm-hmm.
It's so we ain't got no midfielders and no.
But then
it's
do
a bad moment.
you remember when Klopp decided to stuff it and go play Nat Phillips and Reece Williams as a centre back, and he put our midfielders back in midfield?
Aye,
I swear we went 8 out of our last.
We went on a run still.
Yeah,
So
it was
the owner. You can blame the ownership for not getting a centre back in that they needed. And you also can blame Jurgen for a little bit for being a bit too stubborn and not trusting.
Yeah, two
players
things could
he
be
had in
right.
his squad.
Jay.
Yeah.
100.
Jurgen said he wanted to wait as well. He wanted to wait for his guys, innit?
Because we bought Kanate as soon as the season ended.
Yeah.
We did.
So it showed that we wanted him in January. But I believe weren't there a thing in his contract that he couldn't leave, or he'd have to leave for more money if he was still in the Champions League?
It's because we got drawn against them in the Champions League. Is
that what it was?
it.
Is that what it
We got
was?
drawn against them. If we didn't get drawn
We had that
against them,
deal wrapped up by March, though.
Yeah. Deal
By
was done.
March, trust me.
Do you guys? We didn't say this earlier. I'll just quickly ask you guys. Liverpool are not known for not going for just buying anybody just for buying someone for the sake of it. Usually, it's happened a few times with Chiesa and that Brazilian guy that we won't mention. It's happened. It's happened a few times. But do we actually like the fact that Liverpool are willing and have the guts to wait sometimes for their
I
players?
like that.
Like with the fact with Virgil, right? We needed a centre back. It was clear as day, yeah. And Liverpool decided, no, you know what? Secretly, we'll just go wait for Virgil and get Virgil because he's the number one choice.
If it's a transfer,
Kanate was the number one choice, so they waited till the end of the season to get him.
Yeah. If it's a transformative signing, Jay, I say you wait. If it's not a transformative signing, I think you could potentially move on to someone else. And the reason why I say transformative, Wirtz is supposed to be, and I believe he will be. So
He will be,
Isak.
yeah.
So will Isak.
Ekitike could argue.
The players that we brought in this summer, we all said they are going to have a big say on how we play. And I also feel like maybe that's why Liverpool are now waiting for Guehi. But to Enzi's point, I kind of want them to ignore that. Even if you think he's going to be the transformative signing and you're willing to wait, just get him in early, like what Enzi's saying, and you ain't got too much to do when it hits summertime. Because I can already see it. If we don't do it, there's going to be so many clubs that are going to be like,
Loads.
This guy Liverpool. We got a chance.
Not only that, Matt, you would have to then wait because of the World Cup as well. And then that could, because if he goes and have an amazing World Cup, he might say, I want to secure my future after the World Cup.
Yeah.
Leave it that long.
Yeah,
we're fighting against everyone.
Exactly. And don't just assume just because he was on the verge of signing before that he's just gonna do it again. Not saying he won't. I'm just saying it's just not always a given like that. You know what I mean?
Look, if we had the right people in charge, Isaac would have been at Liverpool 3 years ago, maybe. So
that's a very.
He wasn't ready yet, man. He wasn't ready yet. He's ready now.
Nah, he was ready for when he left.
Nah, he wasn't, man. He
no,
wasn't
trust
ready,
me, bro. He was ready.
He wasn't. He would have came in and looked flash in the pan stuff, but he weren't ready. He's now the complete forward. We want him now.
I love the guy. Yeah, I don't care when we got him as long as we got him.
My guy, bro.
Yeah, I like Ekitike as well. Ekitike at the moment is shocked everyone. I think at the football club.
I agree. Obviously, and this is not even me to kind of thing, but not
See,
many
for France
people
as well.
Yeah, not many people probably watched him until we were linked with him. Do you know what I mean? And even then, like I watched him when the chat were telling me about we were linked with Marmoush, but they kept on saying, no, man, Ekatike. And I was like, I said, he's all right. But like, I didn't see division. I'll be honest. We got the chat. A lot of them were saying to me, Matt, I'm telling you, Ekatike suits Liverpool more than Marmoush. And I was like, all right, let me keep a close eye on him. So I kept a close eye on him for the rest of the season. And I was like, you know what? They might be onto something here. But I still look at the Marmoush, and don't get twisted. If we signed Marmoush, I think Marmoush would have been a problem at our club, you know. Don't get twisted. But yeah, well, I'm just glad that we got Ekatike, bro. Because
might have to do the super chats, bro. Because Carl's
Carl's thing.
Cal needs a new laptop, man. Cal's had that laptop since Windows 95. You know?
Nah, he's taking the piss at this moment in time.
No, Carl's going mad. Big up, Queen. I trusted. Big up, I trusted. Fenway Sanderson Group. It's like Jamie, and sometimes better the devil, you know. And it looks like we're getting a centre back in Jan, so that's better than how they used to move.
Yes, my laptop's moving like Hicks.
Yeah, your laptop is going mad. Big up, Josh. New
series.
series.
Hicks and Gillette, did you just?
Yeah. That's rubbing hands out, bird, man. You know. Yeah, man. Come on, bro. You're gonna get this every single Thursday, 11 o'clock. You know what I mean? So, big up for those people that's tuning in for the first time as well. Big up, Sadiq. With 62, what's this? With 62 months, can I get a forfeit for Cal to shave?
No. You've been a member for 62 months. It's a long time, man. That's a
long
time.
It's dark, bro.
Sadiq,
no, shall I tell you what it is? No, shall I tell you what it is?
It's taken Cal 24 years to grow his beard.
No, this is what I'm saying. I sense fear. That's why he wants me to shave. I sense fear. I get it. I said
against Sadiq's beard.
I don't know if he senses fear.
I sense fear.
Know.
Do you know there was rumours Sadiq shaved yesterday and it's already grown back to what it is now? It's crazy.
Keep in mind, Scott doesn't want a much bigger squad. That's true. He doesn't want
I think his mindset will change on that though. I feel like his mindset will change.
Well, if they want to make 6 subs, that new rule they want to bring out now.
Oh, is it 6 now?
Yeah.
I don't really care for 6 subs, but I do think you should have 11 players on the subs bench, in my opinion.
What, like international duty?
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you don't, because it gives you the options, innit? I know what you mean, yeah. Big up Tyler. I'm not sure if these are slot signings or he's just figured it out or it's playing his favourites. Whatever the narrative is worrying. I think they are his signings 100%. Yeah. Like, again, it's just he's just trying to figure out a system where we're similar but different to last year because people started to understand what we was doing. But we've also got to understand what we're doing now because we don't have Trent. Now, you could say, but Trent was missing for large parts of last season. That is true. But the players knew what to do last year. I feel like this year he's added things, and with adding that and new players settling in as well, it's just taking a bit longer. But let's not all go thingy because we're only 1 point behind. And I know we was 5 points clear, and we were we're on a bit of a rut at the moment. But I think we put that all to bed against Man United. Spoiler alert. But yeah, hopefully we keep that moving.
But football's weird, ain't it? In 3 weeks' time, the landscape could look completely different.
100%, bro.
You just don't know.
You don't know, innit? Yeah. That's all the supers.
Sadiq did shave. Big up Sadiq.
No, boys. Ends. Jamie, obviously, Monster's gone now.
Big up, man.
Appreciate you guys for this morning.
Big up you guys, man.
Man, like Matt as well. People in the chat, if you've watched this show, please do smash the like button and subscribe. But more importantly, there are 3 links to 3 channels in the title. Ends' channel, Jamie's, and Monty's. Please go over there and subscribe. Show the boys some love. We will be back on Kopish tomorrow with a show of Tom and Hassam, and then a preview in the evening as well. So make sure you join us. Jay, we've got vibes with Kopish tonight over on Big Up.
Yeah, 10:30.
Ends, have you got anything coming up today?
No, at the moment, just recovering from the flu, man. But I wanted to say, how comes we didn't rate FSG's tenure at Liverpool?
Because I just thought it'd be a 10 across the board.
You can't decide that. You have to let the people.
No, I was assuming. I did. I mean, what's your rating then?
I think we should start from the top and work our way around, right? And get the chat involved as well. What they think.
Okay. Well, I think everyone knows my answer. 9.6.
Left himself a little bit of room. I hear it. 9.6. A little bit of room. I hear it.
9.6. No way.
Go on, Matt,
What's your real answer? What's your real answer?
9.5.
Now let the guests go first. You know what I mean? This is
mine would be 7.5.
Wow.
Which is still good for an ownership, to be fair, because nothing's perfect in life. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed. What about you, Ends?
Let's go with 8, man. You know what I mean? I think they've done an amazing job.
The only thing I did like was obviously the furlough stuff when they're rich enough to pay people. And
their business hat was on in that moment.
Yeah, their business hat was like, no, we can actually do this. Well, I think you partly got to blame the British government, maybe. And then obviously the trying to, copyright the name Liverpool was a bit crazy.
Yeah.
That was a bit crazy. Yeah. But on the field stuff, but behind the scenes, I know. Behind the scenes though, like they've run the football club extremely well. I don't think any of us can have any issues about that. And if they left tomorrow, they've left us in an exceptional position. So
100.
Yeah, 7.5 going on to 8, no doubt about it.
Only people that with money can buy us now, boy.
Yeah, 5 billion. They went from 300 million to 5 billion. Do you know how mad that is?
I would say they're far from perfect. They're not perfect. They're not getting a 9. I'd say
sounds ungrateful, doesn't he?
No, but they're just not perfect though. Nothing in life is perfect. Jamie's right.
Nothing.
I say 7.5. 7.5 or 8.
Yeah, but let's be honest. The reason why are you dropping them that low?
No.
You men are dropping them low over things that you don't really care about. Don't lie.
Hear me out. There are things that I cared about because the whole Super League thing, I thought they was taking.
What was wrong with it? We have that now with the Champions League.
We have that now.
To be honest, the Super League stuff.
Hear what I'm saying?
Once again, they're ahead of the curve.
And we could have made some money from that. They
tried to break away from, and again, don't get twisted. UEFA is corrupt. I've got to be careful what I say, but like that organization.
Allegedly. Just say allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Is just, there's a lot of things, but it was the timing of everything. And like Jamie said, trying to trademark, and then the whole furlough thing, and then man giving some stupid apology in his kitchen, acting like that.
Great.
No, it was sincere, bro.
It was like, right, make that apology. That was what you did.
Did man send some as well?
You know, crazy.
Censored, man.
Crazy. You don't see what's happening to my laptop.
No, but listen, what I'm saying though. But what they've done over the last say 3 to 4 years, maybe, has been very impressive. That's from sponsorship off the field, which has brought in more revenue.
Yes,
fixing up Anfield, which needed fixing up, sorting out Melwood, where you could just literally get your backpack out and sit on your backpack and see everything what was going on. They now
one big thing I will say as well, Matt.
Facility. Sorry, Jay. One last thing. State art facility. They brought in big top players now as well. They brought in the right footballing people behind the scenes as well by bringing back people that they relied upon before. So yeah, they've done well, but let's not act like their tenure at the beginning
wasn't finish, Matt. It's not how you start; it's how you finish, right?
No. Yeah. Also,
what my wife says all the time.
Jurgen Klopp, yeah, don't get twisted. When man won his centre back, then man gave him a hologram and Kabak here. So let's not act like they didn't do some mad stuff. And let's not act like they weren't transfer windows before. We wanted more signings, not to go crazy, but we wanted more and we didn't get enough. So I see it as 7.5 is fair. They've done some.
We wanted more. Did Klopp want more?
Hey, that's the question.
Did Klopp want more? Do you remember the press conference when he got frustrated? And
that was one press conference, though, Matt.
Bro,
years he'd been here.
The rest of the time he read a list out of players and I couldn't get. I already have everything I need.
Wait there. I remember when Klopp was like, the way how this football club is run, there's things we can and can't do. He was just being honest. There's things we can and can't do. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think back then, money wasn't as expendable as it is now, and that's due to all the off the field stuff. It took time to get to where we are, but because we're Liverpool Football Club, we want everything straight away. That's how it works. When they first
then
arrived,
you shouldn't blame them, then, Matt. That shouldn't be a negative on them, then.
No,
if
but
you're
then
agreeing that it takes time.
But you shouldn't give false promises as well.
I think if you see
Those
the
promises. Come
I
on,
think if we went back in time,
Glazing is strong, bro.
if we went back in,
Glazing
I
them,
think with FSG, if we went back in time
Gotta be
and like
fair.
realised what their goal actually was in the years to come, people might go and give them a bit more leniency because what they're trying to do and build Liverpool in the years to come. They're never going to change. They're always going to be like the sustainable model, which I've always said I don't mind. But they've been waiting to build the club to get to a situation where that model can change itself and be a higher brand.
Based on that,
model.
then, Jamie, do you not think you should bump them up at least a point then?
No, I'll go to an 8, yeah. Because actually, if I think
Jamie,
about it,
don't.
no. When I talk myself into it,
No, Jay, don't go into no peer pressure, bro.
I'll go 8 right now.
It's your
Jamie
rating.
made
It's
some
not
great-
Enz's
Well,
rating.
to be fair, I did say 7.5
8
to
is
an 8.
low. 8 is low. 8 is low.
How is
8
8?
is low.
Cal, you see the player chart thing that we do. What's
Yeah.
7.5 and R1? What does it mean? What's
7.5 is good.
good R? And what's
Yeah.
8?
Very good.
I said
right.
7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
he's
just-
everything good.
Have we won?
It's like a 7.5 or 8.
Matt, have we not,
we
have we
won
not
everything?
won Premier Leagues? Have we
we
not
won
won
everything?
Champions League? Have we not moved the club up in terms of from 300 million to 5 billion? Have we not got one of the most expensive squads out there now and top
Kaboom.
talented players in there?
How long have they been in charge for? 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
Takes
won the
time,
Prem
Matt.
twice.
In your own words, Matt, it takes
Won the
time.
Prem twice.
Matt,
and won the
in your
Champions
own
League.
words.
Telling me,
Matt,
hold on,
in
wait
your
there,
own words.
wait there.
No, Matt, in your own words, you just said
Yeah.
it takes time.
Do you
It
know
does
what?
take
I
time.
didn't
But
want
Oh,
to
Ends-
say
you're gonna
this.
go against your words
No,
now.
wait.
You're going against your words.
Wait.
Matt, I didn't
Ends,
want to do this on
Ends,
live. Matt.
what was your expectations for Liverpool in 15 years when they took over?
To be where we are now.
That is, you know what? Yeah.
To be fair, when they
We're
took
gonna
us
remember
over,
that conversation we had the other day, Ends, about expectation of them team there.
I am where we are now.
Yeah.
I'm happy where
Ends,
we
I'm gonna
are.
hold you accountable.
Takes
yeah?
time.
We
It takes time.
both know where we wanted to be, what Liverpool to look like in the 15 years of their tenure. So you're right in terms of where we are is perfect. But bro, there was a lot of ups and downs in that period, and I do feel like
That's because we had like John
personally-
Joe Shelby and them man in the midfield.
no,
man.
I understand. It takes time. But what I'm saying is, do you not think Liverpool should have won more though?
Not with the teams that was around then. No.
not
don't
in the
think so?
first, not in the first.
Man City,
few
that
years.
means
No, not in the first
yeah,
couple of years. I agree. But you see, like when
Yeah.
Klopp really got that team.
But we pushed.
Well, you could
bro,
argue,
like,
Matt. You could
Klopp
argue
in his own
But
way.
will it sustain it though?
in Klopp's first when he came in October, you could argue that we should have won the Europa League and the League Cup.
And the League Cup,
True.
I know.
He should have.
We got to them two finals, so yeah, it could.
In
It
his
could have
own words.
started quite quickly.
Do you know what,
So,
man?
Jay,
I've
in
never
his own
really
words,
wanted to
man,
do this on
he
live.
said-
how old is little man? How old is Kyrie?
He's 7.
He's 7. So basically, what you're saying is you expect him to be a multi-millionaire by 15 years old.
Rah.
These are the dads we're dealing with now in the 21st
No,
century.
also
This
Cal,
is
he
crazy.
asked about we should have won more, right? I don't disagree. with that.
No, saying
Like, we had a squad.
One more, though.
No,
Honestly,
we could have, but in Klopp's own words, he said an extra player wouldn't have given me extra points.
But it's the owners.
We pushed. It can't be the owners.
Yeah,
we just drew.
I mean, if you woke up from a coma and you found out that Liverpool finished the Premier League on 97 points, you would have thought you won the title, wouldn't you?
But we did. We can't. What I'm
That's
saying
because
is,
we had a juggernaut team competing against.
I understand that we were up against one of the best teams in Premier League history. All I'm saying is, though, over 15 years, winning the Prem twice is obviously
And
you
the
win
Champions
the Premier League. And some teams haven't won that, like certain other teams
Arsenal,
in London, right?
Arsenal, for an example.
But I'm just saying, because we have
Chelsea and
such
them,
high
man.
standards, there was a part of me that just wished like we won a little bit more, especially in Klopp's tenure, because I think we had the squad to do it, but he needed a bit more help.
We had the first 11 to do. We never.
Yeah,
had
but I felt like FSG. I know some people, because there's the argument of, did Klopp really want more, right? But then there's also an argument, well, did FSG also to say, well, this is what you have?
Matt, I just want
Is that fair to say?
In what season though, Matt? The one when we lost one game, those seasons. We just lost one game.
After we won,
that extra player going to help us in those moments, because the one
hear me
game
out.
was like losing to City.
After we won the Champions League, I understand we won the Prem the year straight after, right? However, I will never forget those signings, bro. And here's the thing: because we won the league, it took all the pressure off. Man brought in Adrian. Yeah,
That's a Super Cup.
no, not Carl. Wait. Because if we're gonna do that, he also cost us a Champions League, bro, against Atletico. Let's not do that, because I'll never forget that day, Cal, when I was on my way to work.
Team in
and
general,
I spoke to you and Drifty. I was getting in the underground. I was like, "Are we winning?" And you were like, "Yeah, I came at the underground and we're losing." I said, "What are you talking about? Don't make me go. I'm not going."
Was it not the team that day though?
Matt is right in what he's saying, but I think we can say this for probably the majority of owners in English football, can't we? You know, it's how much money has City spent since Pep's been at Manchester City and only win one Champions League. You could argue that's failure for what City have done and only winning one Champions League. So, and they've got an ownership that can spend money much more freely than FSG can with Liverpool. So, I think
last time I checked, we don't have 115 charges,
and we don't have 115 charges. So I think you can see there's no perfect owners out there. Even the best owners in the world have still got some where they go have some issues and not do things fans want and leave you wanting at times. And FSG are the same, but are they perfect? No. Are they the best owners ever? No, but they're my owners. And they're good owners. And as far as my club is in a well-run state right now.
They are. Listen,
Matt, you should bump up 0.5.
One question, Matt. One question.
Yeah.
Would you rather have 5 cars, but accumulate your money through selling illegal substances, and know that the police are onto you, so you can't sleep well at night?
Why are you giving me this question when you already know that that's the?
Or would you like 2 lovely cars, but know that your money is legit and you can sleep good at night? How would you? Which one would you prefer, Matt?
It depends where I am in my life. If I'm that guy that wants to take chances, I might do the 5 cars. That just might be my life, bro. I might be road, innit?
You ain't gonna drive all 5 of them, though.
I don't know what I'm on when I'm not streaming, so that could be my life.
Allegedly,
Matt. Wrong.
You do know you're dragging me and Drift down with that.
Liverpool
I go prison for no one, bro.
Should Liverpool won more Premier League titles?
I go prison for no one, bro.
You see how the AI just kick into gear, yeah? But just quickly, all jokes aside, yeah. Obviously, you know the answer I'm gonna give you. But what I wanted to ask you guys, when we signed Adrian, Seth Vandenberg, and I believe it was Harvey Elliott, yeah, were we happy as a fan base after we made those signings? Remember, you didn't know you was gonna win the league, and that's my. Remember when everyone crashed out? No one can't say they didn't crash out because we all did. Right. I remember, bro.
I was
Klopp happy. That's the question I'm asking. Was Klopp happy?
I think it was very difficult to upgrade on the 11 we had then. But maybe squad players coming in. I think this is a difference. I think this is a difference. Yeah. Look, where Liverpool are now,
yeah.
I hate City fans when they say we won COVID title when they literally won the league in COVID. Liverpool didn't have the financial means they do now. I mean, that's very obvious. We can actually buy players now, like Ekitike. If Isak's going to start games, Ekitike's going to be on the bench. He's on 200 grand a week. We couldn't do that in that year Klopp won the Champions League. We didn't have the financial means where we have now, where we could buy a squad player that's extremely good and put them on good wages to come in and replace these exceptional first team players. Where now we can have a bench full of players that cost a lot of money and a lot of wages a week. So I think the times and things have changed where FSG are financially more secure now and can afford to make these changes in circumstances where they couldn't before. But look, 2019 was such a long time ago. I can't even remember how angry or happy I was. I think I was still on cloud nine that we were Champions League winners, to be fair.
Of course. I just remember though, because JW Henry done like an interview when it was like, whatever the manager needs, we'll get him. And then we ended up with them 3 players.
That's what the gaffer needed, Matt. That's what the gaffer...
No, it wasn't. It's what the gaffer was told. But again, someone said in the comments, and this is so true, by the way, all banter aside, Klopp kind of knew what he signed up for. So even though I think there were times he wanted more, and he probably complained maybe privately, you would never hear him go publicly and go, listen, I think there was only that one time where you could see he got annoyed, where it was like, you know how we're running
coming
the football
towards
club,
the end
like,
of his reign, wasn't it?
yeah, you can see the frustration. He was just a bit like, it's what we signed up for, but I'm still kind of frustrated because I know we need to get over the line, but we haven't got that, so I've got to make things work. So,
and then he said he knew it was over in November when they were talking about transfers for the following year. So he either didn't want these players, or didn't want a certain Michael Edwards coming back and being in charge of transfers.
Yeah, that as well. All right then, guys, before we leave, I think we've got just 3 more supers. Big up Jamrock. He said a bigger squad is harder to manage, Carl. That is, I think he's talking about Arnie Slot there, I believe.
By the way, Pep Guardiola only likes a small squad as well. He said that himself.
Yeah. No, you're right. He did. Big up Queer. Come on, Matt. They gave us Isak this season. No. Here's what I'm saying. What they've done for us recently, bruv, I'm over the moon. I've got no.
That's why Matt gave them a 9. That's why Matt bumped it up to a 9.
No, but that's why I just don't want people to forget what happened, sort of like the beginning/middle part. I don't want people to forget that. I'm just trying to be honest, bro. You know them ones, them. Just being honest, bro. Big up Gang and Deep. At the moment, I have no issues with FSG, but I need to see a few years of this intent to be FSG in. Since 2020 we stagnated and changes weren't made to football hierarchy to enforce change to dominate. I understand that as well. You want to see what they're going to do like from here on out, because this obviously is our biggest summer of all time, and doesn't need to be the biggest summer of all time every single year after year, but it's more about, do the club have the intent to want to stay at the top? And I feel like we will see that we will recognize what they're going to do due to their transfer market activity. We'll be able to see what they're about.
What if things have changed? So in the last few years, you had City, United and Chelsea. They were the spenders, yeah? They were the spenders. What if now everything's reversed and now Liverpool are the spenders for the next few years? And it's the other teams that are going to be more, watching their pockets, selling players. You could argue Chelsea are sell to buy, but I never hear anyone say that. You look at the amount of players Chelsea sell and buy, you could argue they're sell to buy. Man City in recent years have sold more than they've spent in recent years. So what if the tide has now turned up from 2019 to 2023, whatever, Liverpool were behind them 3 teams for spend? What if the whole thing's reversed now and Liverpool are the team that are going to be the spenders for the next 3 to 4 or 5 years, and the others are going to be more managing their accounts? That's what it looks like is happening to me. That's what it looks like it's changing to. So could be that.
Yeah. No, you're right. Listen, just want to big up the guys once again. Big up Jamie, big up Ends, obviously Cal. Cal's has to quickly just leave as well. Big up Monster as well for joining as well. Big up you guys. And yes, I will repeat, this is a new show, people. You get what I'm saying? So make sure you tune in every Thursday. You'll see the guys back here every Thursday, 11 a.m. as well. Obviously, if things change, we'll let you guys know, but we should be all good. Also, guys, this video is sponsored by okjerseys.com, where you can get your jerseys for about £15. Use the code Kopish and get 8% off, people. Not only that, make sure you go subscribe to Jamie's channel. Jamie's also changed the name of his channel as well. Jamie, what's the name of your channel? I know it's just like a little rebrand, but just so
Liverpool Chats TV. Yeah,
there you go, Liverpool Chats TV. So make sure you go subscribe and go subscribe to Ends as well. Mike by the Ends. Make sure you don't do that, people. You know what I'm saying? He's got a serious community just like Jamie. They've all got a great community over on their channels. Go and do that. Have you guys got anything coming up later on today or tomorrow? I know Jay, you're doing your show tonight. Yeah, big up at 10:30 tonight. What about you, Ends? Anything tonight or today?
Nah, just chilling, man. I think we covered it. But if you feel like I want to speak some more, I might do something. But see.
Fair play. People, I will be live in about an hour's time on my channel. I'm gonna do some FIFA. I know Ends is gonna give me a look because speaking about FIFA, I gotta make my debut.
He hasn't made his debut on Pro Club.
But they've signed. I've signed. Well, actually, I'm on a temporary contract. You'll have to tune in to find out more. That and also my debut.
You're wasting your contract.
For my debut, it will be live on my channel as well. I'll be doing pro clubs with I think Ends, Savage, Jerry, Cav. Anyone else, or is it just
and then Chang.
And
my boy Dan. Yeah, there's a few.
Matt's on probation by the sounds of it.
Yeah, so I'm on probation right now. You get me? I've got a trial. These men are trying to say I've got a trial. Anyway, we'll get into all of that. I'm not going to give anything away. We'll say with that for when I have my debut. But yeah, people, like I said, make sure you go and tune into all of our individual channels. Obviously, Cal's channel, you guys already know. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go to Cal's channel as well. And just channel as well. All the channels, the links will be in the description. And yeah, people, come and catch me in about an hour's time on my channel, Jamie's channel later on today at 10:30. Obviously, we'll be back on Kop-Ish tomorrow as well with Hassan and Tom, and then later on the preview as well. And obviously, we got the game on Sunday, so there's a lot of stuff going on, people, between now and Sunday. So make sure you tune in. But people, people, listen, take care. God bless. Team Kop-Ish, people. We're out, people. Love.